Alrighty, from what I have been led to believe, we are streaming. The issue we are having tonight is I can't get into the Stream Deck, and so with that, I can't see any comments or anything else going on. So, but I'm confirming that so I might be able to see some. I've got Facebook going on over here on a different computer, but I've got to keep kind of going back and forth between that and the weather service chat. So just to bring you up to speed, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning right now for Fayette County until 9:45, Bourbon until 9:45. Clark technically is in the warning. I don't think anything is going to get down to Clark. So it's this cell right here that we've been watching. And we've been watching this thing really all the way. We watched it starting to form back in southern Woodford County around Mortonsville. And it's had a couplet with it. By that couplet, we mean velocities going toward and away the max track here. And we were looking at this only at a few hundred feet off the surface. So we had one video that we've seen of a rotating wall cloud. Yeah, so same idea, same storm. Again, if you've been in northern Fayette County, western Fayette County, you've probably seen a really, really ominous looking cell here. And this is what we've been watching here. So again, this is on our max track. So we're right on top of this. Get the velocity back on here. There we go. So it's broadened out. It's not as strong as it was. A lot of lightning with this cell, and a lot of heavy rain. But at this point, looks like the velocities have come down a little bit. I can actually go ahead and minimize that since I won't see comments there. Let me bring in just some of the lesser velocities here to see if there's anything that's still rotating. Probably not at this point. So we had a rotating wall cloud with it. Now it was a broad, relatively slow circulation. We were seeing 30 gate to gate on it, and on a pretty consistent path that started in southern Woodford County through the western part of Fayette County, came across somewhere between Dunbar and the airport, and then it's worked its way now into the northern part of Fayette County. It's still a formidable cell. You can indeed see the possibility of damaging wind gust with this. All right. And just extending things back just to let you know what's going on. So where this is also occurring is, you notice how this has kind of a broad S shape here instead of a one full swing echo coming across. And so that tells you that there is some shear going on here. The shear's impinging kind of going in this way, and that's what slowed this part of the line down. And we're going to keep an eye on that cell northern Woodford County also. In fact, really keep an eye on that cell in northern Woodford County. Yeah, that's you folks there near Versailles, be aware that that is probably going to be a strong storm. Right now, nothing severe with it, but it's something we're keeping a very close eye on, and it's in a place where there is some shear going on. The warning for Fayette and Clark County has been modified. And so it is, let me pop on the diff here. Sorry, I have to keep going back and forth on different things here. Yeah, so as expected, the Clark County part wasn't going to have anything. Yeah, so everything that we're telling you here is what's showing up there. So we've got a skid on this, so we'll just get you some of the stats. The BTI number, that's the tornado index, actually has come down. It was up above 3 there for a little while as the storm was coming out of Woodford into Fayette County. So that number has come down. But you see some of the communities here that will be impacted by this as it gets into northern Fayette, into southern Bourbon County, and arrives at Paris sometime around 10:05. And then again, that BTI number, the tornado index number, is coming down. But that's severe thunderstorm warning 9:45 Fayette, as well as 9:45 for Bourbon. Again, strong storm, severe storm. Wind gusts, wind damage is a possibility with this, and we're keeping an eye on that storm in northern Woodford County now. This is going to be near near Big Sink, between Midway and Pisgah there. That's going to be just to the east of 62. So again, it's an interesting scenario, and the reason why I've talked about the shear or the difference in it, let me get rid of that. Instead of this being just one straight line, you see how this line has been coming in. There's been cell mergers going on. So this part of the line's been able to come eastward pretty easily. Now it's starting to look like a fourth grade drawing. But this part here has slowed down, and so it's in this area where there is shear available. And so we've had the cell mergers where you've had the line, but we watch individual cells collapse into it. And so that's when we started to see that initial uptick in the lightning and the first intensification when that storm was by Mortonsville. So had no reports of damage. There was a 60-mile-per-hour wind gust reported at Frankfort when this initially began to come in. But again, we're watching that cell over there in northern Woodford County. So right now just showing straight line. But again, it's near a cell merger and it's near where that kink in the line is. So again, it's something that we'll keep an eye on. We can also check it just for giggles. Straight, broad rotation showing up on the Louisville radar. And that's again the cell near Midway. So you can see that BTI number is higher. So this is something that maybe bears a little more watching because it's also closer to that intersection point where you're seeing that bend in the line telling you that there is shear available. But again, for the folks who are highlighted here and you see the numbers, the times update: Duckers at 9:43, Midway 9:53, Paynes Depot at 10, Yarnellton 10:05, Great Crossing getting over into Scott County 10:05. Right now that storm is not warned for. And again, but it's just to the west of Midway. We pop our radar back on. And so that you've got an outflow going here, past Master Station, past Bryan Station, headed toward Muir Station, over there toward Hutchison. And nothing new with that. The severe thunderstorm warning is now expired for Fayette and Bourbon. You said we were seeing the winds slackening up from where it was. There's a little bit of shear there near Elmendorf. But again, the cell it's getting away from that shear axis, and so that is showing the signs that it's weakening. So again, that warning has been allowed to expire for Bourbon and Fayette. We'll still keep an eye on it, but again, now our attention is over here to the west. And when we talk about that shear point, you've got this line going this way, this line going this way. And atmosphere doesn't like right angles. And so that tells you that you've got some degree of shear going on here with the motions. And that's why, or one of the ways you can at least get some spin in the cloud. Now, spin in the cloud doesn't mean anything more than there is spin in the cloud. But it does mean that we will pay attention to it because it can turn into something more. But right now it is not. There may not be enough oomph in the atmosphere to overcome that, but it's still, again, worthy of us keeping an eye on it here. I'm trying to grab some of your comments. Everybody's under a severe thunderstorm watch until 1 a.m. So you've got this line that's going to eventually come on through. You can see it makes that turn right there at the Kentucky River at Woodford and Franklin, or Woodford and Anderson counties. So it's still west of 127, Mercer, Boyle, back toward Casey. So anybody east of that, you've got some time before the storm. Yeah. All right. I'm trying to. I can only grab about 4 or 5 comments at a time. And this is why we don't look at comments. All right. Yeah, we all are kind of tired of this. Well, you're about to get your wish as we are looking at next week. The pattern changes completely. Well, summer starts like that, and we're going to jump full bore into summer with temperatures in the 90s. The saving grace in a way is the amount of moisture that's in the soil right now. Everything is so lush that it might temper the heat a little bit, but on the flip side, there's so much moisture in the soil and everything else that it's going to add to the humidity. So it kind of cancels each other out. Kind of pick your poison on that. If we didn't have all that moisture in the soil, we'd be looking at middle upper 90s probably. As it is, it's probably going to be low and mid 90s next week, but the heat indexes are going to be up around 100. And it's closed captioning live, which is kind of cool. And looks like Larry's coming in, so they're going to be doing some stuff here in the studio. Hamburg area, this initial cell is passing north of you, but the line is still sitting out here to the west. So what we're going to do is we're going to keep an eye on all this. Again, severe thunderstorm watch is in place until 1 a.m. So until this line passes by your house, you need to stay weather aware. There's the kind of the full picture of it, with storms going basically from north to south across the state. So before Larry gets started here, so yeah, you've got one push going up here, and so you've probably got some strong winds right on that apex right through there. And then you've got this part here, and it's right in here where there's the shear available. So that's what we're watching. May not be enough energy, enough velocity in any of this to do anything more than maybe make a borderline severe storm, but again, you have to keep an eye on it, which is what we're doing. And you need to stay weather aware until the storms come by your house. We will do our best to keep you informed and keep it warned ahead of time. But again, the warning for Bourbon and Fayette has been allowed to, actually they expired it. They canceled it before the actual natural expiration time. So keep it on LAX 18. If necessary, we'll stream back in here on Facebook, since Engineer Paul said we're streaming, which we are. Just can't answer all the questions like we normally do. So again, thanks for clicking here, and be safe tonight. And be aware that once we're past tonight and tomorrow, the rain is done for a while.